Let's make royal icing. Have you ever wondered why some cookies have a soft, delightful texture, yet others can be rock hard? I'm here to guide you in creating that perfect, soft, chewy icing consistency. Let's dive in. Materials you're going to need for the royal icing is a hand whisk or a whisk attachment. I'm going to be using my big mixer, so I have the whisk attachment and the bowl. I use homemade vanilla, but any vanilla will work. Organic light corn syrup. Half cup of warm or room temperature water. Your measuring cups. Organic powdered sugar. And I like to use Judy's Complete Meringue Powder Mix. I will link all of my products that I'm using in the description below. We're going to start by adding 1/3 cup of meringue powder to our mixing bowl. And these do come in smaller sizes, but I use quite a bit of meringue powder for all the cookies. We're going to pour the half cup of warm water in. This is where we're going to use our whisk attachment and just mix it for about 1 to 2 minutes until it gets nice bubbly, frothy look to it, and it doubles in size. So this is what it looks like before we mix it. And this is the nice, bubbly, doubled in size kind of texture that you want. So this was about after a minute, and it's nice, frothy, bubbly. Now this is where you would add your vanilla or any kind of flavoring that you want. My favorite's vanilla, but you can choose lemon, almond, or even maple. Any of these, any kind of flavoring that you would want. But I'm going to use our vanilla. We're just going to put 1 teaspoon in here. Now we'll mix that up with our whisk just so it's incorporated. We are done with our whisk attachment now, so we will switch over to the paddle attachment. And here's the fun part where we get to start adding our powdered sugar. And I'm just gonna do like about 1 pound, so it'd be half of this. And I don't sift it when I do this because the mixer is going to get all of these clumps out. So there's about half, and we will stick it under the mixer. Now we're going to mix our powdered sugar until it's just incorporated. Now here's where I'll scrape the sides down a little bit because as you can see it kind of gets stuck on there. So scrape those. And here's where we're going to add our light corn syrup. Now, I believe this is the secret to making soft, chewy royal icing. All we need is 1 tablespoon. And back to the mixer. Our corn syrup is in here and we're just going to mix it in again. Our last step is mixing in the last of the 1 pound powdered sugar. Our last batch of powdered sugar is in, so do not mix it for longer than 5 to 7 minutes. It can collapse and it won't be usable. I like to do medium speed for about 3 minutes, check it, and then see what it looks like. But we're looking for like a peanut butter type thick, stiff consistency. We are done mixing, and when you pull it out of the bowl, this is what it should look like. You see it has the stiff peaks. They aren't folding over or anything. They're staying put right where they should. And that is going to be your stiff icing. And now you want to start out with that. So you're going to need a heavy, durable spatula to scoop all this out and put it into a separate bowl. This icing is great for structures like gingerbread houses. It is very thick. And if you make your flood consistency too thin, this is a great way to just add to the flood consistency to make it a little thicker instead of just adding powdered sugar to it. And always make sure that you leave your royal icing in an airtight container, because when it's exposed to air too long, it can create a hard crust and it's just not usable at that point. And here's our stiff consistency icing, all ready to go. If you did want to make it brighter, because it is dulled down because of the vanilla extract, you could always use clear extract. But one thing to note is that being an artificial dye-free baker, it's easier to turn colors that's not in a bright white icing. So for me, using this vanilla is best. It mutes the white down. But if you wanted it bright white, you could always use the clear vanilla. Let's go over the icing consistencies. I use 3 different kinds, and that is the stiff icing, the detail icing, and the hybrid icing. Now, some people use hybrid and flood. I cut out the flood altogether, and I use the hybrid to outline and flood my cookies. This is the stiff consistency icing. It forms peaks. It does not move. Great for building those gingerbread houses or adding into flood that you have added way too much water to. So this is a great starting point and perfect for certain projects. The next one was our detailed consistency icing, and you can see it's less thick than the first one. You can move it around more, and when you pull it up, it has a nice little peak that curls over, but does not fall over. Kind of stays there. This is great for writing, floral flowers, anything like that. It's your detailed consistency icing. And the last one is the hybrid consistency icing. This one is my absolute favorite because I use this to outline and flood my cookies, and it gets rid of having 2 icing bags of the same color, just a little bit different consistencies. So what I aim for is, as it drizzles down, how long does it take to melt into itself? So the lines, I usually wait about 5 to 7 seconds, and as that melts in, I count. As you can see, it's pretty well melded into each other, and you'll just take that scribe and move it around a little bit, and you have the perfect consistency for flooding and outlining a cookie. I'm going to show you how I decorate my cookies with the hybrid icing.
But it still forms a nice thick line. And you're just gonna go right up against the line and start to fill in the area. Get as close as possible, but you're gonna use that scribe to push it around just a little bit more that it misses. We'll take our scribe. Just hit those edges and any holes that don't get filled in by themselves. And there you go. A perfectly iced cookie using 1 consistency icing.
Now you know how to make that perfect royal icing that has that soft, chewy bite to it, and the different consistencies that you can use while decorating your cookies. Let me know if this was helpful, drop likes, comments, and share them with your friends. As always, I am an artificial dye-free bakery, always here to help, and I will see you in the next video.